Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Salutes. We are back. I am your host, Keith Norfolk, and this is the Nation One Love podcast show. Tonight's title is Aspects of the Thinking Mind, Echoes of the Ego. Salutes to everybody out there, man. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Make sure y'all hit that like button, family. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. I usually don't like to do these type of presentations live due to the distraction of the chat. But what I will do is do this presentation live, and then I will be right back so that we can have a Nation One Love After Dark panel right after this. Salutes, please like and share the video. This will be very informative information for you guys. Salutes, salutes, salutes. Much love and respect. Please hit the like button for me, family. Salutes. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. But we're thinking about the aspects of the thinking mind. Now, not to get too far ahead of myself, this is how you know, alternative worlds are birthed. We get to talking about alternate universes and different worlds, or being in the world and not of it. Your mind is like a tornado, so you can create a whirlwind with your thoughts. So there are different aspects of the mind. We have your true self, which is your higher self. And then we have your echoes of who you are, which would be your egos. There's who you were told to be. See, I'm not Key. They called me Key when I crawled out of my mother's womb. They called me Key, but my name is not who I am. Do you understand? Then you have who you've attributed to be in life. This would be like your reputation, you know, or your characteristics, or what you show people you are, or what type of person you are. Then people have their accomplishments, things that you accomplish who you are. Some people, and now as this thing goes high, this thing also goes low. You know, you start to put on jackets of falsehoods of what you want to be, see, or what you portray to be. Or you can put on jackets of negative connotative things that you've done. You understand what I'm saying? And what we have to realize is our true self, our high self is always calling us to be, calling for us to reach our high self so your high self can live here. There would be heaven on earth, so called, because heaven is a mind state. Heaven is a state of being. Your higher self is a God. So if you can connect with your higher self and actually be your higher self and walk this earth as your higher self, you would be in heaven. Am I correct? Salutes to everybody, man. I see more people going on as we go. Please hit that like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. I appreciate you, family. So that's the goal that we're reaching here. But we can't reach that goal if we can't break through the shells of the cells. See, we got different chakra layers. Your different chakra layers will actually put you in position to put on another shell. And when you put on another shell through your chakra layers, then you have to free yourselves from because we're in an upside down world. We're in an upside down world. So your heart may cause you to lust. Your mind may cause you to be conniving and mischievous. Your mouth may cause you to deceit. Your private parts may cause you to cheat or be lustful. Your stomach your chakra, in your stomach area, that may cause you to eat some of the wrong things. So we have to master the different shells of the cells before we can connect back to that one, to our true self, God-like nature. And you become a God here on this earth so that you may manifest your reality, but you can't do that living in a carnal state of mind. You can't do that living in the lower self. It's all about balance. So once we're able to balance our higher self, our fire circle self, our physical self, with our lower self, that's when we become masters of our reality, masters of the universe. Man was meant to manifest, but man will never manifest if man can't balance out and switch his skins out. See, we can switch skins on a video game, but we can't switch skins in reality. You hear what I'm saying? So that's the point of today's presentation. So without further ado, I'm gonna get right to it. Shout out to everybody, much love and respect. Man, I'm gonna ask y'all to hit that like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. If somebody want to drop the cash app, that's cool. If y'all want to send a super chat, that's cool. I'm not gonna put the goals up for us tonight. I'm just gonna get right to it. It's all about growing and developing our mind, body, and soul, and that's what we're gonna do here tonight. So salutes to everybody. Much love and respect. All right. Bear with me just 1 second, people. While I pull this up on my screen. And let me get some ones if you guys can see on the screen. Okay. Aspects of the thinking mind. Okay, here we go. So, the thinking mind encompasses various aspects, right? So, check me out here, right? Including cognitive processes like reasoning, creativity, evaluation, as well as the ability to form mental images and understand concepts. It also involves understanding how we think. This is metacognition and the different types of thinking, like analytical, creative, and critical thinking. Furthermore, the mind can be viewed through different lenses, such as conscious, subconscious, and unconsciousness. This is what I was telling y'all about. The higher self, your middle ground fire circle self, which is your physical, and your lower self would be your subconscious. Because we thinking in terms of good and evil. We got to stop thinking in terms of good and evil. We got to think in terms of positive and negative, protons, neutrons, and electrons. Every living thing on earth has a holy trinity: positive, negative, and neutral. Proton, neutron, electron. Mind, body, soul. They took the true knowledge and they gave you Father, Son, Holy Spirit. But we're going to bring this power back to ourselves today, people. Please hit that like button, baby. This is going to be powerful. Salute. Now, cognitive processes, right? Reasoning, the ability to think logically and draw conclusions. Creativity, the capacity to generate new ideas and solutions. Okay. Evaluation is the ability to assess information and make judgments. Synthesis, the ability to combine different perspectives. Types of thinking: convergent thinking, using logic and analysis to narrow down to a single solution. Divergent thinking, exploring multiple possibilities and ideas. And this is where your multiple parallel universes are born inside of your brain, man, leaving stains. You understand what I'm saying? Now, lateral thinking is combining logic and imagination to solve problems. Analytical thinking, breaking down complex problems into smaller parts. Like my brother My good brother, bro Sanchez said the other night, peace and power. When you're listening, you're supposed to be listing what you're listening to. You're listing what you hear. That's what make you listen. When you list what you hear, that's one of the first steps of reading or hearing and comprehending. Reading, seeing, and hearing are only the first steps. Comprehending will be your second step. They're both one and the same, but you can't have one without the other. You wouldn't sit down at your mama house to eat dinner and wash your left hand and eat with your fucking right hand after you just scratched your butt. Now, I don't mean to be vulgar. I don't mean to get rough, but I want to make my point clear what I'm saying here tonight, people. So critical thinking. Now, evaluating information and forming judgments. Okay. Metacognition. Thinking about one's own thinking process. That will be you leaning on your own understanding, people. And we're going to get to that. Other aspects, right? Mental images. This is how we get deceived, people, when we start following the algorithm. Because the algorithm attaches itself to you like a leech. And once you allow this leech to attach to you, see, the leech can be translated into a net. And later on, me and my good brother Sanchez, we're going to get into what plane nets are. And we're going to talk about the internet. But before it was the internet, they used to call it the Ethernet because they changed it to internet from Ethernet. Why, Key? Why they do that? Because we are in the age of Aquarius, and they say these niggas done woke up and got smart. We gotta change this shit. These niggas know what ether exists. That's why they used to tell us the Ethernet back in the day, because people wasn't speaking on the ether. Okay, so these mental images are representations of objects, activities, and events of the mind. This would be why the internet or the algorithm will start to attach itself to what you like and the things that you want to see. And they will begin to give you these visuals to make an imprint on from your conscious mind. And once it put an imprint on your conscious mind, then your conscious mind will imprint your subconscious mind. And once it's imprinted on your subconscious mind, that's when you program now. Now, that's how they're winning the spiritual war. That's how they got you dancing to the devil's song, which is the algorithm. Al, once again, is from gore, evil, horror, blood, murder, things of that nature. And rhythm is a song or a story. So keep that in mind, people. Now, concepts, mental groupings of related ideas or objects. Now, these concepts can come from certain schools of thought. These concepts can come from religious institutions. These concepts can come from certain con men who are out to con you for some particular reason or another. Okay. Conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. Now, these are different levels of awareness and mental awareness. Now, your cognitive style is individual differences in how people think and process information. Now, again, we've also entered the information to where we've been promoted to lean on your own understanding. That's why it's very hard for us to come together as a people, because everyone feels that their way is right. You can think what you like. See, when you see a army brigade, right? When you see the army marching and they're all information, they're all in single fine line. They're all moving to the beat of one drum. See, when that sergeant go left, they move their left leg. Left, they move their left. They turn to the left. Left, they turn to the left. Left, right, left. They're moving information. They're all making the same movements at one time, which is creating an energy. It's creating a rhythm. They're dancing to the beat of their own drum. But when we're all not in correlation, let me translate this to my hip hop heads. When you see an artist come out and he's got dancers behind him and they're all dancing, they call this choreography. See, we gotta have a choreography about ourselves as a people. Because if we don't have a choreography about ourselves as a people, then this show gonna look crazy. That's why we in this crazy world right now. You understand what I'm saying? We have to first have a perfect balance of mind, body, and soul, and you can't use no scale from the store or from Walmart, from the grocery store or from Walmart. You're gonna have to use that old school triple beam scale. Why I gotta use a triple beam scale, Keith? Because you're balancing mind, body, and soul. It's always a three-body problem. The digit scale don't give you correct weight. The only way to get perfect weight all the way down to the grain is to use a triple beam scale. You're gonna have to balance that proton right. You have to balance that neutron right. You're gonna have to balance that electron right. And every living thing or everything that is supposedly living has a three-body problem, y'all. So we'll get to that later, okay? Um, Now, after we get past that, now I want to go back to the cognitive style. This is the individual differences on how people think and process information. So when it comes to the individual differences of how we think and process information, examples of that would be where you from, the ideas of your family, traditions. All these things set you up for your perception point of how you view or look on things. Keep those in mind, people. So next there would be mindset. Now this is a set of beliefs and attitudes that influence how one thinks and approaches situations. Once again, the way you think and your perception point will be altered by the mindset of your family. If your grandmother thought a different way, she would be the head of the family at one point in time and she would pass things down. That's why we got a lot of people saying that, their ancestors were stupid or their ancestors dropped the ball. I'm just going to say they ain't have the Ethernet, my nigga. They was just using the ether, but the first guard for the gate came to them and blocked them from using the ether. Then after they was blocked from using the ether because their scales were unbalanced, man. When you're not balanced out, mind, body, and soul, you don't have control of the ether. You're no longer a God body on earth. In order to be a God body, you got to be able to balance your God and balance your devil, balance your positive and balance your negative. It's about balance. Once you balance, then you will be able to cipher things from the ether. So once they were able to take us out balance and put us on a backward spiral, how you balance out, Key? You balance out by being compatible with life, by being compatible with nature. That's how you balance things. That's how you balance things out. And see, once they knew they got us off balance, then they introduced us to Ethernet. And now you see niggas on the internet and they're saying, preaching to y'all, saying, man, we used to know how to do telekinesis. We used to know how to teleport. We used to know how to do this. We used to know how to do that. But that's because your ass stopped dealing with the ether and started dealing with the ether net. When they caught you in the ether net, they had you inside the net. Now, when they pull you out of the net, now they can internet on you, just like they always do. Think of your veins, right? Like these rivers in these masses of water around this country. See, when they dock on your port, when they dock on the port of your land, they dock on the port of your wrist. And they dock and they cipher energy. They get out and they start to explore. They start to take over. I know I'm saying a lot, but I want y'all to take it all down. You understand what I'm saying? So understanding these different aspects of the thinking mind can help individuals improve their cognitive abilities and make more informed decisions. I repeat, understanding these different aspects of the thinking mind can help individuals improve their cognitive abilities and make more informed decisions. So once we're able to understand, we should overstand so we can understand, and then we will be able to have more control of our life. That's going to give us back our 6 degrees of separation that we're lacking now, that's working against us now. We've allowed them to use a gift that was given to us. 6 degrees of separation to keep us different. But now we're dancing to the algorithm and we're allowing these wicked sons of Satan, if you want to call them, they evil. They ain't here to save you. But that's another story for another time. Okay, so now let me switch over, right? I want to bring up this first diagram. Make sure y'all hit that like button, family. Please like, share, and subscribe, support the channel. Now, there are 4 aspects of the mind. You have your preconscious mind. I want to make this thing bigger. Okay, you got your preconscious mind, your intuition, your insights, instincts, and gut feelings. Now, that's your preconscious mind. You got your conscious mind. That's your thoughts, feelings, your mood, your willpower. It's understand to. I mean, it's powerful for you to understand, so you can understand the echoes of your ego, and that's what we're going through today, people. Hit that like button, family. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now you got your unconscious mind. These are deep-seated memories, drivers, patterns, protection, and growth. Now you got your subconscious mind, personality, habits, values, and attitudes. And you can also say that these lesser two would be where your Akashic records may be stored, things that are getting passed down through your blood and your spiritual memory banks, people. Okay. Now the 3 parts of the mind are cognitive thinking. IQ is your cognitive thinking, skills, reason, knowledge, experience, and education. You know, this is what you're going to be dealing with your surface level self, with your man, with your electron or your neutral. Okay, because these are the things that it's dealing with just walking right here on this earth. Then you got your cognitive doing. You got drive, necessity, innate force, instinct, mental energy, talents. These are things that come from your higher self. And then your effective feeling, these are things that will really come from your lower self, even though you see motivation there, because we can be negatively motivated as well. So these would be your desires, motivation, attitudes, preferences, emotions, values. You see what I'm saying? And I just want to point out some things to you guys. This isn't really like a live stream where we kicking it or nothing like that. Shout out to everybody. Much love and respect. I just wanted to be able to pull these things up so we can watch and we can take some notes. And I would like to receive some feedback. I want to know if it's working or if it's not. Or hey, everything ain't for everybody either. Salutes to y'all. And let me go back to Shout out to everybody, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. Now, these are the different parts of your brain, right? So we're talking about aspects of the thinking mind, and we're also speaking on the echoes of the ego, and we're trying to learn how the difference between our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts. You know, you got an astral body, you got a physical body, your mind, your body, your soul. All these things are on different levels. So we got to understand the playing field of these different situations when we're dealing with that. Now, if you look, um, the midsection of the midsection of the brain got skill movements, basic movements, visual recognition. You see what I'm saying? Motor control areas, and that would be motor skills, sensory, all that's like dealing with in the middle of the brain, like how you move, how you see, motor skills, and things like that. Now, as we start to get towards the frontal lobe of the brain, now we dealing with emotions, memory, awareness, making speech and language, smell towards the bottom part, and then hearing, visual at the bottom, understanding language, and then towards the back, balance and coordination, and basic vision is at the back of your brain. So one other thing I want to do before I get out of here, people, I want you guys to pay attention to where these certain brain functions are located on the brain. And I want you to think about every time you had a headache, because every physical ailment has come from a spiritual ailment. There's always a three-body problem, a mind, body, soul problem. And salute right there at that time. Let me take a second, man, because I want to check the chat. I don't like doing these type of streams where I ain't really checking in with y'all, man. So salute. I appreciate everybody. Much love and respect. Shout out to everybody, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. Now we will be coming back for a later stream, and that way we will be able to join the panel and all that good stuff right there. I just want to make sure I show you guys this brain um, diagram again. You know what I'm saying? So if you look, your attention, planning, memory, language production, that's in your frontal lobe. And your middle, like I said in the beginning, is like your movements, your motor skills and stuff like that. And then the back will pretty much be your visual. Now that bottom part of the brain is connected to, see, that's your tongue gonna go up to that, the top of your mouth, and stuff like that connected, right? You see your speech perception, concepts, meaning, object memory. So I want to give y'all just a second to take some time to focus on that, keep a mental picture on that. All right. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull up. I just wanted to go in with this, y'all. I didn't want to take no time to um put them diaphragms together, but I know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna use they images to show y'all. Shout out to everybody. Much love and respect. I did not find these and go into my lesson for the night. If you've been following me, you know echoes of the ego is something I've been talking about for a long time. But I don't think I had my etiquette um up to par to be able to present it the way I'm presenting today. So I appreciate y'all for being with me today and giving me time to translate this message to y'all. Salute. All right. So now I want to go to all here. Echoes of the Ego. This is not a musical album that we're going into. and Google like to do this, but we ain't gonna really play this game with them today. So I want to go into this book or whatever, and just read what it says on this book because there is a book on this. Okay, and this is my first time seeing it, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna read what they got to say about it. All right. This book represents a breakthrough in the quest for individual and collective fulfillment. It is a breakthrough in leadership and management systems, an eye opener for managers, directors, and every person who wants to dig deeper to become a fuller person. And that's beautiful. That's great because that was my whole concept for bringing this today, you guys. Um, William D. Lifty constructed an indigenous matrix he called the universe life cycle to help you understand yourself, your team, and your company. This process leads to the realization that our success lies in working together in harmony to become a we-driven organization, thus moving to an African Ubuntu approach. Well, we ain't doing that. FBA professor, okay? And so I want to stop this right there because I don't think this is necessary anymore. So pardon me for a second while I take this off my screen, you guys, because now I can just talk to y'all because we on point. So I want to just take this time to just talk for a second, right? Because and that's what they were saying, what I was saying. Now we're gonna have to restore balance before we can move forward with anything else. If we can't defeat or get past our echoes of our ego, we're not gonna know where their true voice is coming from. Their true voice is coming from the higher self, but the higher self can't be found because we're looking for the echo on the ground, and we got to be looking up for our higher self. We got to connect with our higher self. Once we're able to do that and restore balance, and me personally, I don't even think we should be learning nothing else. I don't think that we should be following nobody, learning nothing until we learn how to get our mind, learn the aspects of our mind, body, and soul. We got these misplaced anxieties. We got these dark places. And then you having these bad dreams and you wondering why these demons in your life is because you can't defeat your lower self. Your lower self is taking over. So once you're able to defeat your lower self, that's why they said Christ, in which when I say Christ, see, that's like me talking to a second grader, and I'm a college professor. So when a person say Jesus and Christ, I know they mean consciousness, Christ consciousness. To have a head full of light is Christ consciousness. So Christ consciousness had to go down to the bounds of heaven to get the keys. You see what I'm saying? That's you having to go all the way down your spinal cord to defeat your lower self, to defeat your lower chakra when you in survival mode, right? So when you in survival mode, you tend to do things to survive. That's why these YNs out here killing each other. They in survival mode. They got us living in an upside down world. You supposed to be thinking with your brain, and you niggas and you bitches is out here thinking with your ass and your pussy and your dick. That's what the problem is. You get it? We upside down, inside out. So until we can turn ourselves, do the hokey pokey and turn ourselves around, we gonna be dancing to the algorithm, and that's the devil sound. I'm trying to open y'all minds up so we can open up our hearts so we can start to meet each other where we at so we can grow together, develop together, love each other. so we can defeat these people. We need to retain our 6 degrees of separation that keep us separated from these people. That way we won't be getting sick. That way we won't be killing each other. That way we won't be relying on eating their food. Because we will have the mind, body, and soul in tune enough to be able to grow and secure our own and lead our own. That's what this is all about, people. Everything else is bullshit. Burn that fucking book you reading. If you can't get your fucking mind right, if you can't get your fucking body right, and if you can't get your soul right, you need to burn that motherfucking book. Because it ain't doing you no fucking good. You just gonna be a fucked up nigga with some good ass information, and it ain't making the world better. That's not making the world better. We have to be able to understand so we can overstand, so we can understand, so we can pass this shit down to the youth. We have to get back to being compatible to life, compatible to nature, compatible with the great spirit. Otherwise, we'll be doing as the heathen do. The heathen go in buildings and pray to their God. We're supposed to go outside and listen to ours. Do you hear me? They go in buildings and pray to their God. We supposed to go outside and listen to ours. That's what's going to liberate the people. That's what's going to make us free. Otherwise, we're going to burn up in this house that we done came and sat down in. This is what this is all about. This was their plan from the beginning. Like I told you, they're planning for their prophecy. Their end game is to have heaven on earth, in Jerusalem, in Israel. They plan to eradicate the rest of us because they said that everybody else is evil except for them. Listen to the evil man, call everybody else evil. Listen to the kettle, call the pot black. If you think about that story in the Bible, where, and I'm showing y'all, this is prophecy. Their prophecy, their planning has become prophecy. They said there was a flood. Noah built an ark. See, the ark would be their ideas, their ideology, their new world order is the ark. The flood is the flood of information. That's going to wash everything out the way and drown what needs to be drowned and all that. So then when Noah came out, he took 2 innocent creatures and sacrificed them. And then the smell of that blood was sweet to the Lord. There's an allegory to the story. It ain't the story, it's an allegory to the story. What I done told y'all allegory mean? There's an allegory to the story. They tell you that right off the bat. That means there's a evil, it's from an evil twist on the story. See, we got to understand that when these people are dancing on that black and white checkerboard, these Masonic Freemasons, that they're speaking in a dual language, a double-edged tongue. If you think about all these word spells that they give out on us, they're always able to flip the coin on us at any given time that benefits them. This is what's happening, people. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. But see, it ain't my job to wake nobody up. Once you get your mind, body, and soul in line, then you will have your own time. But what your good brother Key gonna do is show you where I got my alarm clock. And you can wake up when you feel like it. Hey, salutes to everybody, much love and respect. I was gonna wait a little minute, man, before I did this. I hate to cut this stream short. It wasn't long, but it was strong. Salutes to y'all, much love and respect, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all share the stream for me. Shoot your good brother something in the cash app. Shoot your good brother a super chat. Shoot a message across. Salute. Any form of support is a great form of support. Hey, salute. The spiritual secretary, salute. Make sure y'all subscribe to my sister Raven. Salute. We all we got, y'all. We all we got. Hey man, and on that note, we'll be back for tonight's live stream. I'll allow the panel to come in and speak on this presentation. Salutes to y'all. Salutes to everybody. Much love and respect. If nobody told y'all today, as the words of my big brother OG, they love y'all. I love y'all, man. I mean it. I'm gonna keep fighting this fight because it's spiritual warfare, and I ain't come to play. Till next time, salute, family. I love y'all.